If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. Hello, House on the Road subscribers and followers. I have learned over the year and a half of doing YouTube videos, there's just some subjects that you don't talk about. Don't talk about insurance, don't talk about kids as nomads, don't talk about politics, and you don't talk about pets. Especially if you disagree with bringing your pets out as nomads. It really does cause a lot of terrible comments. But I saw something the other day that I decided I'm going to violate my own rule. And I'm going to talk about pets being part of your nomadic family. I absolutely love animals. I've had animals most of my life. Dogs and cats both. But I think I loved animals so much that I'm not going to bring them out here to live in a pop-up camper, which is what we started our adventure with, or a very tiny homemade truck camper that is literally designed for 2 people. We wouldn't be able to fit a small animal in there. There may be one advantage to having an animal out here, in my opinion, and that would be a security measure. Now, I'm not suggesting that an animal be used for security. And if you're going to have a dog, it has to be a dog. If you're going to have a dog, it'd be for one purpose, and that is an alarm. Your dog is not going to scare away bad people. It's going to alert you that there's bad people around or there's something going on. And I think anybody who has an animal knows that, and it doesn't change out here. Even if I did have a dog, a pet, something I loved, I wouldn't send that dog out after the bad guy in hopes of saving my life. You take a responsibility to that animal. You love that animal. That animal's part of your family. It'd be like me sending my daughter out to chase the bad guy off. They're not expendable. Not if they're part of the family. I mean, I understand police dogs. They're trained for that. I get that. I understand military dogs. And I'm okay with that. I mean, they're part of the police force. They're part of the military. But when they're part of your family, they're not used for that. There's some downsides. I mean, I can't hardly see the upsides of having an animal out here outweighing the downsides of having an animal out here. I already mentioned the camper is so small, it'd be terrible for that dog. It's just constantly in cramped quarters. You know, here in Missouri, we used to have a puppy mill problem. And you'd see these dogs just packed in little cages all their lives. Well, majority of the time, a dog in our camper would be not much different than those puppy mill cages. Now, the thing I saw the other day, it really bothered me, and I don't think this was a full-time RVer. I think it was a person who was traveling with a travel trailer, and they stopped at a restaurant. They tied their dog out outside the camper on this pavement. I'm sure the pavement was hot. Now the dog was underneath the, as you see in the picture, the dog was underneath the trailer on the hot pavement, trying to stay cool. Look, this is, in my opinion, is the exact reason why you don't want to have a dog. Because you as humans still want to go do things that humans do. But the dog can't go do it, so we're going to just do the best we can. Leave it in a hot trailer, leave it in a hot camper, put it on the hot pavement. There's a lot of bad activities that happen in this town. Now, these travelers didn't know that this town was bad activity, but right across the street, I mean, I'm sure if we ran across the street, we'd have been at the city park where all the drug deals were happening. That's how bad it is. Now, can you imagine some drug dealer needing some money? Ooh, a dog. I can go sell a dog for 20 bucks. You're just putting your dog at risk. Being out here in the forest, I'm not exactly comfortable with either. Let's talk about the big animals first. The bears, the raccoons, raccoons, skunks, possums. Any of these things got rabies? Of course, the bear you wouldn't necessarily need to worry about rabies. I don't even know if bears can get rabies, but they can eat the dog. Be a nice snack. So where are you going to put the dog to be protected from these things? Are you going to watch it every time you go to the bathroom? I was down in Florida there was this old man that had 3 Dachshunds, little Dachshunds. They're cute dogs. One of them fetched really well. And his whole philosophy in life is if I have a leash on them, they're okay. So he'd put a leash on them and then let them run throughout the campground. Cars whizzing by, and the dogs did go up on the road. Cars whizzing by, dogs chasing the cars, dogs coming to the other campground. One of the dogs gave me a nice little gift and peed on my generator. You know, he couldn't, you know, he kept saying, well, we came out here to be free, so I want my dogs to be free and roam around. When the temperature warmed up, when that dog goes down there by the water, I'd be a little concerned about the alligators. And then you got the ticks and the fleas and the mosquitoes. I mean, think about how much you love those things. You love the ticks and you love the fleas and you love the mosquitoes? No, I don't think you do. That's why you put bug spray on. Well, now these animals are getting eaten to death by all these bugs and parasites. Well, then you got the temperatures. In the summertime, you know, Carolyn and I made a conscious decision not to have an air conditioner. You know, we live out here in the national forest. You can't run an air conditioner too much because, you know, you'd be running a generator all the time. It's just a huge expense. So if you come out here, you have to decide, are you going to have an air conditioner or not? If you're going to run your generator all the time, for the dog to have air conditioning, it's something you got to consider. But most likely, you're going to be like all the other YouTube nomads that I see that have a dog and no air conditioner. It's hot out here. Most days it's 90 degrees. Now I know all the nomads says, no, you're doing it wrong. We got to go north in the summertime, south in the wintertime, higher in elevation, lower in elevation, all that good stuff. I guess that's okay. Except when your daughter gets sick and you have to come back to Missouri, 90-degree temperatures, 100% humidity. I realize humidity I don't think affects dogs. They don't sweat. We're in the hospital. What are we going to do with the dog? Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.